Where is this? Okay. That was the adjusting thing. What do you think? I lowered it. I lowered it, of course. I am not of Matt Miller height. So, with that, I don't have anything off the top. So, Matt, if you want to kick us off.
I don't have anything that's directly, well, that's specifically directly related to the U.S., but I wanted to ask you about what your thoughts, the administration's thoughts, are about the apparent escalation in this India-China, India-Canada dispute.
So, Matt, I don't really have anything new to sort of offer on this that both Matt and the Secretary haven't spoke to already, I would say, in the number of times that has come up before the press in the past week or so. I would just reiterate again, we are and continue to be deeply concerned about the allegations referenced by Prime Minister Trudeau, and we remain in regular contact with our Canadian partners, and it's critical that Canada's investigation proceed and the perpetrators be brought to justice. We also have, as we've previously said, publicly and privately urged the Indian government to cooperate in the Canadian investigation and cooperate in those efforts.
Yeah, but are you not concerned that if Canada reciprocates in terms of mass expulsion of Indian diplomats from Canada, that this will trigger a, kind of an avalanche type effect?
So
and that could, impact your Indo-Pacific strategy.
I've seen the reports on the diplomatic staffing levels for the Canadian High Commission in New Delhi, but I don't have anything further to offer on those reports, and certainly don't want to get into hypotheticals and take this process one step at a time. As it relates to our Indo-Pacific strategy and the focus that we continue to place on the region, that effort and that line of work is going to continue. And of course, with India, we are partners with them in the Quad and in many other fora, and we continue to work with them and other countries in the region on a number of important issues. But as I said at the top of this, we take these allegations very seriously, and we continue to not just work closely with our Canadian partners, but have, as I said, publicly and privately urged the Indian government to cooperate with Canada also. Simon, go ahead.
Slightly different India topic. There was a raid on the offices of a news outlet called NewsClick, and some of the journalists for that outlet had their homes raided, I believe, as well. So, on one hand, there's been some outcry about, from press organizations in India saying this is an infringement on the free press. So I'm interested in your response to that. But separately, relatedly, there is also an allegation related to this that this news outlet was part of a Chinese influence operation that's funded through a network, according to the New York Times, of an American businessman. So I guess on those two separate points, do you want to respond to? Do you have any comment on these raids? And do you have any information on the potential Chinese influence operation that might be connected to this?
Let me take your second question first. So we are aware of those concerns and have seen that reporting about this outlet's ties to the PRC, but we can't comment yet on the veracity of those claims. Separately, of course, though, the U.S. government strongly supports the robust role of the media globally, including social media, in a vibrant and free democracy, and we raise concerns on these matters with the Indian government, with countries around the world through our diplomatic engagements that are, of course, at the core of our bilateral relationship. And we have urged the Indian government, and have done so not just with India but other countries as well, about the importance of respecting the human rights of journalists, including freedom of expression both online and offline. I don't have additional information, Simon, though, about this particular circumstance or any of the underlying issues issues that may or may not be related to this outlet, however.
Thank you.
Right, let's stay on an India theme. For
Sure.
now. Maldives.
Yeah.
I know there was a statement, I believe, over the weekend on the election congratulating the winner. But the president-elect of Maldives has spoken today about removing Indian forces from there. He's widely perceived as being more of a tilt toward Beijing. Does the U.S. have anything to say about this?
I don't. This is a matter between the Maldives and India, of course. What I will just say, broadly, is what we have. This is consistent around the world. Is that we have never tried to imply one way or the other that any country is required to make any kind of decision about the kinds of exclusionary partnerships that it enters in through its bilateral relationships, whether it be with China or the United States or India or any other country.
Sure. Could I ask something on a different topic?
Sure.
Somebody wants to pursue that.
No,
just on Armenia. Armenia joining the Rome Statute for the ICC. Obviously, the U.S. is not part of that, but this is something that's got quite a reaction, particularly from the Kremlin. Do you have any general comment on Armenia doing this and what it means?
Well, we respect Armenia's sovereignty and independence, and we'll leave it to Armenia's government to comment on its legislative processes. Of course, we respect the right of every country to join the ICC, and have been encouraged by many states, including Armenia, that have undertaken commitments to promote justice, accountability for genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity.